What is going on, everybody? My name is Fluffy Ninja. I love the Jar-5 Dominator. I think it's a great gun. I really, really do. The only issue that I have with it is not the fire rate, it's not the recoil, it's not the 15-round mag. It's in the wrong category. I don't know if this has kind of become apparent to anybody else, but the Jar-5 Dominator does not belong in this category. I don't really know where this weapon belongs. Maybe special? Maybe marksman rifles? But it does not actually belong in the explosive category. So we take a look at this, right? Firing jet-propelled rounds. The Dominator trades fire rate and mag capacity for increased damage per projectile. That makes sense. CB9, exploding crossbow, fires powerful exploding bolts which do maximum damage upon direct impact. Gravity must be accounted for when aiming. And the damage disparity between these two is staggering. Now, like, why is that, right? It's because the crossbow is literally an explosive weapon. The Dominator is not. The Dominator is jet-propelled, which makes it like a gyrojet pistol. That the things were cool, but they didn't really do anything well enough for people to switch over to them. Like, Brandon Herrera has an awesome video on his gyrojet pistol. In fact, he even blew his up because it blew the barrel out. Even if we compare it to the Eruptor, right? Again, massive damage. Bolt action rifle fires jet-assisted shells, so jet-propelled, that explode shrapnel in all directions upon impact. So, why is this in the explosive category? Where does this actually belong? As far as I can tell, both other weapons in the explosive category actually do some kind of explosion. Like, even compared to the grenade pistol, it doesn't really do anything. Compared to the regular frag, it does 25 more damage. The high explosive, this does 400 damage. Impacts do 400 damage. And now thermites do 2,000 damage. What does the Jar-5 Dominator do better than other guns? I mean, yeah, the 275 damage is awesome. Diligence counter sniper does 200. Yeah, it's got medium armor. Like, these guns are literally the exact same gun, except this has less recoil, a better fire rate, and it only does 75 less damage. So what is the point of the Jar-5 Dominator now? Again, this is after the big Buff Divers update that made, like, a bunch of guns better. So what are you getting for using the Jar-5 Dominator over just the Diligence counter sniper, other than 75 damage, which I'll admit is a lot, but there's no reason really to take the Jar-5 Dominator. The only reason that I actually really enjoy using it is when I throw on this armor and it makes me feel like a Space Marine. But it's in the explosive category and it doesn't actually explode. Now, this could be just something that, like, everybody just kind of gave it a pass because it was jet propelled. That's not explosive, though. Jets doesn't automatically mean explosion. Like, it's heavy hitting, it's awesome, but it doesn't explode. So why is it in the explosive category? If anything, I think it should be a special weapon, sure. Or it should be a marksman rifle, absolutely. And, I don't know, maybe swap this out for heavy armor damage and drop this down to 10? I'm not 100% sure. I just know that the Jar-5 Dominator is not the weapon that Arrowhead is claiming it to be. I'm not saying it's a bad weapon. I'm not saying you shouldn't use it. I think it's a great weapon. I just don't see why it's in this category. In my Adjudicator video, everybody was like, oh, it's great for bugs. Okay? But is it good for both sides? I know for a fact that the Dominator is not. I've mainly used this against bots. When I unlocked it, I played against bugs. I didn't have enough ammo and I couldn't fire it fast enough. But if it exploded, then there wouldn't be a point for the Eruptor. Like, unless this did, like, just a small little pop that had such a small explosion radius, then I can maybe see it. And the other thing, too, is why is this Why is the crossbow doing so much more damage compared to the eruptor? Like, this is jet assisted that explodes into shrapnel. This is just an explosive bolt, as far as I can tell. It just blows up on impact. So do these. So unless this is more frag grenade based and this is more high explosive based, that makes sense. Again, I love all three of these weapons. I think they're all great, but the Jar-5 Dominator does not belong here. I don't really know where it belongs, honestly, but it's not in the explosive category. I would think the best thing to do is maybe put it in the marksman rifle category, drop the mag, and up it to heavy armor penetration. That would be cool. I think that would be a neat gun, but then you kind of have to do the same thing for the eruptors, up this to heavy armor penetration. Granted, the explosive category, out of all of the categories, probably have the best damage spread, right? Like, this can take out hordes of enemies, this can take out hordes of enemies. This is for those little bit heavier enemies that need a little bit more damage to go down. But other than that, like, I don't see a point in using this. Like, it can't blow up bug holes, it can't blow up fabricators. So why is it in the explosive category? This is something that I think needs to be addressed. Not that it's detrimental to the Jar-5 Dominator. I just think it would make it more useful if we could do that. If we had the ability to kind of use this as another weapon that blows up more stuff. Because there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a bunch of weapons that can blow up fabricators or bug holes or deal a radius of damage. There's no issue with that, I don't think. And if they're trying to buff weapons and improve weapons, then I think this also needs to be on the list. Because there's no reason to take the Jar-5 Dominator over anything else. I'll even go so far as to say is you could probably take the Adjudicator. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, better capacity, better recoil, better fire rate, just a lot less damage. But I don't know why you would take the Jar-5 Dominator just because of the 275 damage. They're both medium pen. If everyone loves the Adjudicator so much, why would you take the Jar-5 Dominator over the Adjudicator? Again, I wouldn't take it over the Liberator Penetrator. Or even the Tenderizer. Because again, better in every way except for damage. And this has medium pen. I think the closest thing to compare it to is the Diligence Counter Sniper. It is a marksman rifle-esque weapon that just does a shitload of damage. So why is it in the explosive category if it doesn't have an explosive? Just the damage difference between these three weapons is bananas. Like, not even 300, 455, 620. And yeah, they both have 5-round mags, and they both have way lower fire rates. I prefer taking the crossbow over the Dominator. I might even start taking the Eruptor. But there's really no reason why the Jar-5 Dominator should be in this category. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Later.